Hello and welcome to today's RG350 video. So this time I'm taking a long overdue look at the Gameboy Advance running on the RG350. So it's a bit of an odd emulator, not one that's commonly seen. And that's the ReGBA emulator. So it seems to run absolutely fine. I've been playing this quite a bit. So I shall just navigate to my Game Boy Advance ROMs and we'll get started. This is one of the few Castlevania games that came out for the Game Boy Advance. This is Aria of Sorrow. Castlevania fans regard this one as perhaps the best one in the series, but they're all regarded as really good. There's certainly a bit more of a story with this one than some of the earlier Castlevania games, but they really did a great job. It's quite a late release Game Boy Advance game when you think the GBA came out in 2001, and some of the graphics on some of these early games are awful. This is a later release one and it really shows. It's more like 2005, 2006, and the quality is fantastic. A little bit of a mini tutorial, setting the scene a little bit there before we actually get to some of the action. Finally into some action now. And this is pretty typical fare, except there are some new moves that have been introduced. Certainly some great undead. But you can't just walk through these, you've got to try and get them at arm's length. As you can see, this is classic Castlevania, and everything about it is absolutely fantastic. As I'm sure you're aware, this is one of those classic games. Let's have a look at another one. So this is Car Battler Joe. Now, I've never played this one before, but a few people have suggested to me that it's actually a really, really good game. It's about this young kid who's out looking for his father. So it's got a bit of RPG. There's lots of different elements to the game, including a bit of a Mad Max style car game where you upgrade your vehicle as you go along as well. So I'm not sure how quick before we can get into the action. So this first one is simply a ramming game. It's the first to sort of ram your opponents off the course. The Destruction Derby style. As I said, there's lots of different games in this one, and different styles of games, with a really good RPG element, a bit like Golf Story, which came out on the Switch a couple of years back. That's enough for today. Anyway, as you can see, if this looks your cup of tea, Car Battler Joe is probably one for you. Fantastic story, apparently, and some pretty cool gameplay. Alright, let's hit the next one. So this is Lady Sia from TDK. Some regard this as a bit of a hidden gem. It's a bit of a classic platformer game. Interesting graphical style on this one. That's often what makes these GBA games great, is their sheer variety. There's so many produced for the Gameboy Advance. Here we are, I'll just turn the volume down a little bit. So now we're into the gameplay. See, quite an interesting art style for sure. That's the end of the first little level. Might be one that takes your fancy for sure. As I said, a lot of people really do like this game. It comes fairly highly recommended, this. So. If it suits your bag, Lady Sia is the name. I want to get on to the next one. This is a bit of an unusual one from Sega. It's Pinball of the Dead. And it is a direct relation to House of the Dead. A few different stages there. I'll try the first one here. Okay. It seems quite responsive. The flippers anyway, here we go. I have to say, the guys walking around, it reminds me of Dragon's Fury. Straight off the bat, which was for the Mega Drive or Genesis. I mean, so similar with the zombie theme. And even the way that it handles. Not that that's a bad thing, because this is already great fun. As you know, I'm a big pinball fan. And since, like most people, I've not actually got room to store a full-size pinball, I'm always on the lookout for good video pinball versions. And from the off, I have to say, this is already a lot of fun. See if I can get it in that one there. Over there. No. Almost gone. But anyway, you get the idea. This is a real cool one. This is Pinball of the Dead from Sega. Certainly good fun, that. This is another one I've been looking forward to playing, which is Metal Slug Advance. I absolutely love the Metal Slug games on every single platform that I've played them on. And, well, you know what to do. Just basically shoot everything. Turn the volume down a bit. So yeah, I'll play as Walter today. And you sort of play as a cadet rather than a fully fledged soldier. But the gameplay is exactly the same. It's everything that you come to expect. So it's just Sergeant there sending you off on your first mission. Absolutely cool, this. There we are. Canned food. Yeah. Let's hope I can get through this first level. Oh, useless. Mission failed. Can I just continue where I left off? Oh, it's back to the start of the level. That's not fair, is it? See if I can just get through. I'd like to get the chopper. Got my life up again. Yes. Got him. Took a little bit of getting used to, but fantastic. Exactly what you would expect from a Metal Slug game. They're all such great quality. So that is Metal Slug Advance, and you'll find that a lot of these classic games, they release them and then they put a little advance name on the end, and that's how they roll. Anyway, on to our next one. This one probably needs no introduction. Mario Kart Super Circuit. I remember this was the first game that I bought for the Game Boy Advance. I remember absolutely loving it. I was at a friend's wedding. I was on my own at the time. I was just me. And I had to travel away to this wedding, and I just bought myself a Game Boy Advance. And I remember all that travelling. It really helped pass the time, having this cool game to play on the GBA that had just come out. Brilliant stuff. I've got to say, it looks absolutely spot on the RG350 here. Gotta say, I love a bit of Mario Kart. Wow. Use my super. I'm in second, it's not bad. My driving ability is awful. What have I got? Aha. Got me old missiles, did I get him? Yes, I did. How about now Donkey Kong's coming in front? That's not fair. Just behind him. Oh no, I'm in third now, fourth. There's time. Final lap, I'm back into third. Can it be done? Oh, that was a waste, wasn't it? Brilliant power up. Oh no, look at that, pushed off the track by him. How did I do? Second. I can't help but feel it gave me a bit of a chance, so. Anyway, well, as you can see, that's Fast and Furious. And it runs absolutely perfectly. It's certainly one of the greatest of the Game Boy Advance games. They did such a good job on it. Superb stuff. This is another one that is regarded as a real classic by many people, and that's Metroid Fusion. No doubt it's got quite a bit of an intro on this one, but we'll give it a blast because it's just so good. And when you think when this game was made, once again this was a tail end Game Boy Advance game, but by now the developers had really got to grips with the system and how to program for it, and some of the stuff that was coming out was truly amazing, including this one. So let's have a look and see if we can jump to a bit of gameplay. Absolutely fantastic, eh? If anything, the graphics on this are superior to the actual Game Boy Advance that I remember. Even the Game Boy Advance SP, which is regarded as the best sort of screen from the original hardware. This just looks better to me. Really, really nice and crisp. It's certainly better than the my original Game Boy Advance from 2001. So it's giving us a map there of where we've got to go. Now, this really is sort of bringing like a console style game to the handheld. And they do it really well. So I think we're going to have to make this one the last one we look at in this video, because it's been running a fair few minutes. So I think with the list of games that I'd like to cover for the GBA, we're going to put this into 2 videos. With this one being part 1, I've still got a whole load of great games and a few hidden gems, plus some of my favourites to include in the follow-up video, which I'll pop out next week with a bit of luck. Let's see if we can get a bit of gameplay before we actually wrap this video up. Here we go at last. It's been a while, hasn't it? Yeah, looking really good, isn't it? Oh, always find these a bit tricky. So if you have enjoyed this video, do please give it a thumbs up. Do check my channel out because I have loads more videos on the RG350. It's certainly a fantastic little handheld. I put a link to a few of the places where you can buy one online. I bought this one from Amazon, but there's a great place in London called ReGBA Gaming, and they don't just do this, but they do lots of others, which has got great support as well. And you can even pick them up off eBay. So a few links down below where you can get one. You can also pick up one of these cool little cases that I got there to keep mine in, like a hard case. And you could have one of these as well. And as I said, it's just such a fantastic little device. You can see something like the Gameboy Advance, it plays everything absolutely crystal and pixel perfect. So yeah, if you have enjoyed today's video, do please give it a thumbs up. Do please subscribe for regular RG350 content. And I shall see you very soon with the follow-up to this video, which is Gameboy Advance Games Part 2. Bye!